SAIC, right? The company that owns MG. They've just come out and said it. They said their new affordable electric convertible, which is about to go on sale in the UK for a very reasonable price that I think most people could afford, is going to be faster than most supercars. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Now, there's many people who believe that electric cars can't be sports cars. They're soulless. They're not interesting. They're not even fast. Well, those people are just crazy. The MG Cyberster. Prices are expected to be around 40,000 US dollars. Based on the price we've seen in the UK. 40 to 50,000, maybe even 60,000 US dollars for the fastest model. That's just insane when you consider the performance. So what is the performance of the new MG Cyberster? Well, it's got to be a coupe and a convertible. So you'll have two options here. I made a video about those two different options. I'll put a link in the description and in fact, I've got a few videos about the MG Cyberster, which you have to admit is just insanely good. I believe it's the best value performance car possibly ever made. But hey, what do you think? Let me know what your thoughts are on that claim in the comments. Asked specifically about the Cyberster's rumored performance, SAIC Motor Director of Electric Driveline Engineering Wang Yan confirmed the sports car is not only capable of accelerating from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds, or 0 to 62 miles an hour in 3 seconds. In fact, he said it can do it in 2.6 seconds. I tested it on the proving ground only, and it's amazing. It's crazy, he said. Less than 3 seconds from 0 to 100. 2.6 seconds is possible. It's done it. It's no problem. It actually looks pretty good too. Cyberster will have two variants. One single drive variant, rear-wheel drive, by the way, and there's also going to be an all-wheel drive dual motor variant. Both of them, though, have a lot of power. The single motor model will, of course, be cheaper, have more range. Of course, the dual motor version will be insanely powerful. And he's talking about the dual motor version here. He said, for Cyberster, we use a single-speed gearbox and oil cooling to manage the level of heat produced with such levels of performance. Filings out of China, or regulatory filings from the Chinese government, show the base model has 231 kilowatt, so over 300 horsepower, driving the rear wheels. More expensive models, meaning the dual motor version, the all-wheel drive version, has a 150 kilowatt motor up the front and a 200 kilowatt motor in the back. That's a total of 350 kilowatt, or around about 500 horsepower. Car News China said that there is two battery pack options, the 64 kilowatt hour version and a 77 kilowatt hour version, both being ternary batteries, NCM chemistry, nickel, cobalt, manganese battery pack chemistries. And the range, according to the CLTC, which is very optimistic, is 500 kilometers for the smaller pack and 580 kilometers for the bigger battery pack. Real world range, I'm going to guess, probably would be close to that. When you think about it, this is a pretty small car. It's relatively lightweight compared to a lot of other cars. It's low to the ground. Everything suggests it should have a fair bit of range. Should have over 500 kilometers at least in the real world, I think. What do you think? As for the interior, well, the interior has just been revealed. It's one of the best interiors I think I've ever seen on any car. Doesn't matter what the price is. I can't believe I'm saying that. I mean, this is basically a Chinese state-owned company, but they've just made an incredibly good-looking car, and not only on the outside but also on the inside. And what do you think? Do you agree with that? It looks really, really nice to me, anyway. The Cyberster, how big is it? It's a little bit smaller than a Tesla Model Y in terms of its length. Slightly shorter, a tiny bit wider. It's 4.5 meters long, 4,535 millimeters, 1,913 millimeters wide, 1,329 millimeters tall. So it's not very tall, and its wheelbase is 2.7 meters, which is 2,690 millimeters to be exact. Its weight, it's not super light, but it's not super heavy. I mean, it's 1,850 kilos for the smaller battery pack option, 1,985 kilos for the bigger battery pack. That means it's around about 4,000 pounds for the smaller battery pack and about 4,200 pounds for the bigger battery pack option. meaning it's 700 kilos heavier than a Mazda MX-5. But remember, the Mazda MX-5 is very, very small, and it has a very small engine, has much less power than this car, about a third of the power, in fact. So it's a very different product. Like I said, this is bigger. It has 2 motors, and it also has a lot more power. Styling. How does it look in terms of styling? Like, what do you guys think? As you can see, there isn't a yoke. It's just a flat bottom steering wheel. I think the steering wheel looks nice. It's fairly understated. That red interior isn't my taste. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you can option a different colored interior. So when are we going to see this car driving? Well, it's going to be actually tested or driven at the Goodwood Festival of Speed very soon. It's going to do the hill climb in front of 150,000 spectators. Now, I've driven the Goodwood Festival of Speed. It's mental. When I say I've driven it on Gran Turismo hundreds of times, just because it's one of the challenges on Gran Turismo. I can't believe people do this in real life, and they drive their cars really fast on these narrow roads. It's crazy. So hopefully whoever's driving this thing doesn't crash it, because there are crashes fairly often at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. So the car, when does it go on sale? Well, it's going to go on sale in the UK before the end of this year, apparently. Pricing in Australia for the top spec dual motor model is meant to be around about just over 100,000 Australian dollars. So that's around 70,000 US dollars. That's for the premium version. The one that will beat a supercar when it comes to 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 mile per hour times. A lot of people have been asking for this car. They've been saying, hey, Sam, when are we going to see an electric convertible? When are we going to see an affordable electric sports car? Well, you're looking at it. This is it. And what do you think? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.